Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Kia Sonet Turbo TGDI iMT HTX Plus Tech Line. Oh my god, this is a long name. But this is the Tech Line variant of the car, which is a turbo petrol manual because it's actually a clutchless. So it's not a manual, it's a mix of manual and automatic. But before we start going ahead, let me tell you some useful information. Did you know that one major aspect that increases the on-road cost of your new car is the insurance you buy from the dealer? I would highly recommend you to get a quote for your new car from Acco Insurance on acco.com and save up to 50% because they don't charge any commission. It's completely online, very easy to purchase within a few minutes and involves zero paperwork. If you're looking to purchase insurance for your new or old car, head directly to acco.com. And back to the vlog, straight away we are going to be opening the engine bay of this vehicle, and there it is. There you can see, oh my god, I actually faltered there, but you can see it says Turbo GDI right there. There's no insulation, it doesn't need it, even though this is a 3-cylinder engine. Some amount of vibration and rocking which can be seen right now. And the design of this car is actually quite nice because it's got this bulge here. Okay, indicator is on right now, but you know what? This is actually the DRL where the indicator was working. You see, this is actually the pulse from an ECG. Looks quite nice. You get the LED setup obviously, but this is a projector fog lamp, not an LED. You get the black finish, chrome surrounds, no front parking sensors. On the Tech Line, you get it on the GT line, of course. The tiger nose grille, nice chrome knurled finish. The grille looks nice as well. In fact, you see the grille and you see here on the top, the design has kind of been replicated, which is quite nice. Says iMT right there. Gloss black finishing on the outside rear view mirrors as well as the roof. You get roof rails and you get a shark fin antenna. Now from the side, it is a small car without a doubt, but because this is not the GT line, it misses out on certain things which are there in the GT line. The sportier bits, the red treatment, which is not there on this car. Yeah, the GT line also gets red finishing here for the brake calipers as well as the hub, there where Kia is actually written. The wheels look nice, 215/60/16. The size of the tire, you get the black body cladding. Okay, that's a tongue twister for me. A sort of a chromish line. Actually, it's a silver line there. Chrome door handles, you get a request sensor on this side. You don't get a request sensor on the other side. Another important thing is when you approach the car with the key in your pocket, the mirrors automatically open. That's kind of cool. It's sort of a welcome, which is appreciated, of course. Now, because of this treatment, it's sort of a wrap around treatment for the rear windscreen, which is also a little bit reclining there. At the rear, you get a lot of sporty bits on the bumper, but everything is fake AF because this is not an exhaust. Yeah, Faisal Khan's fingers of truth will tell you this is not an exhaust. Skid plate, diffuser, whatnot. Yeah, but the real exhaust actually lies below. You can see the underbody of the car. You get rear parking sensors, black finish on the bumper to reduce the visual bulk, says TGDI. Now the brake light happens to be LED, but the indicator as well as the reverse lamp is not LED on this car. You get this reflector which connects both the lights for sort of a wide look. The camera is well integrated as well, which I really like. You can see the indicator functioning there. Yeah, in fact, the attention to detail in the lights is amazing. I love it. Let's do one thing. Let's open the boot right away. We press a button and there the boot opens. Now the boot is okay in terms of size. The spare wheel is obviously not an alloy. It happens to be 195/65/15, small in size as well. This is a 6.5-inch subwoofer. You can actually recline the seat, but unfortunately it does not recline in 60/40 format. It reclines in one go itself. So yeah, not very practical in that sense. And neither is the rear seat experience good enough because there's not much space on offer. Okay, the door pockets are big enough. You get speakers here as well on the doors, but you know what? There is not much space on offer, not much knee room or leg room as such, and under thigh support isn't great as well, but headroom is adequate actually. Seat has a nice recline angle, but no center headrest for the center passenger because obviously he never has a head. That said, you get a center armrest with twin cup holders. We're just going to use them right now so that I can show you how that works. Isofix child seat mounts, and yeah, the seat is actually quite comfortable. I love the treatment on the seat. Fit finish quality is nice. You get this double stitching as well. There's a hook and handle here. There's a light placement, and there's no hook here, but there's a handle. No height adjustable seat belts, unfortunately. Dashboard looks quite nice, but doesn't get the all black treatment because this is not the GT line. And when we are talking about the GT line, let me tell you that the GT line gets certain more features, like it gets side airbags. Yeah, 6 airbags. This one only gets 2 airbags, so I don't understand why the Tech Line guys do not deserve side airbags for safety reasons. Anyways, let's get inside. Now the GT line gets chrome pedals. Yeah, the pedals get the chrome finish. For the sportier appeal, you get a dead pedal there. Engine start button, this is the headlight leveler. No traction control on this car, it's there on the GT line. Of course, the GT line also gets hill hold and a lot of other safety tech. Now you see the door pocket is actually big enough. Again, speakers at the front, there's an umbrella holder right there. Yeah, there's an umbrella holder here. You know what, cost cutting is done in a way that these switches are not illuminated at night, which is very disappointing, although only the driver switch for the power window is illuminated at night. Now this happens to be the controls for the outside rear view mirrors, and there's a tweeter at the front. So there are actually 7 speakers in this car. There are actually 2 tweeters, 2 speakers at the rear, and 1 subwoofer, which I already shown you. Seats are actually quite nice and comfortable. Love the finishing on the overall seats, but you know what, they get dirty real quick. Hi Nurain, what's up? How are you doing? You like the car? Okay, that's her opinion. Let's get inside. It says Sonet on the carpet. Let's do one thing first and foremost. Let's settle inside because the dashboard actually looks quite busy. It's a very nice dashboard in the sense of design. However, plenty of hard plastics all around, and the glove box is actually decent size as well. There's quite a lot of storage space. One storage space is here along with a 12-volt charging socket and 2 USB plugs. One is for charging and one actually connects to the car for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity. There's storage space here as well, but this is actually for the wireless charger which is there on GT line variants, which also gets a cooling function because obviously wireless charging is not the best solution right now. It takes a lot of time and heats your phone. This is for ventilated seats, ventilated function of the seats, and there are 2 dummy buttons here. One is for traction and one is for drive. Traction modes and drive modes, which are not there on the manual version of the Kia Sonet, but they're on the automatic. Now you can see the AC buttons are big enough, like really big switches for the AC. In fact, the AC vents are also quite big, and you see the treatment everywhere. They have given this design element which looks quite nice. Twin cup holders. Here you can actually slot your key as well. Below the front center armrest, there's not much storage space because this is occupied by the air purifier. This is for the air purifier. The steering wheel gets a flat bottom treatment in spite of the fact that this is not the GT line trim, which means that Kia has not really cut costs in terms of design aesthetics, which is actually a very good thing. You get automatic headlights, but you don't get automatic wipers. Obviously, you get a rear wiper washer. I love the switches on the car. Very well done. Obviously, these are the controls for the audio system. This is for cruise control along with that multi-information display, which happens to be a 4.2-inch unit. Obviously, you get a compass, you get a tire pressure monitor, and you get a lot of information here. The usual bits, driving time, fuel economy, and how much time you have driven the car. All that thing. But you know what? This kind of feels empty here. You get a digital speedometer, analog tachometer, fuel meter, as well as engine temperature meter is again analog on this car. Now this panel kind of looks overdone because you know what, this is actually not merging properly like it does in the Mercedes S-Class or in other Mercedes cars from where it seems to be inspired. But this is a 10.25-inch screen which looks beautiful, very fluid, very nice and fast as well. You get an auto dimming inside your view mirror. Obviously you get connected car tech as well. That's why you have UVO written here. This is for towing assist, this is for SOS. There's a sunglass holder right there, and you got 2 lights here. Okay, I'm so used to pressing the lights now by pressing them. I thought that would be the light. There is no mirror or light on the driver's side, but there is a mirror on the co-passenger side. Let's do one thing. Let's open the sunroof of the car. Now the sunroof is actually on the smaller side. Never mind, you press it once again. It opens further. You just close it for the moment. Now you see the screen is very nice and legit. The good thing is that the camera at the rear is big enough, like the display is big enough, and obviously this is for rear parking sensors, which also shows you front parking sensors in the GT line trim because they get front parking sensors as well. Now the guidelines are of course adaptive on this car. There's something known as a driver rear view monitor. So when you're driving the car right now, it's in first gear, you press this button, you get a feed for which the handbrake needs to be down. You get a feed of the rear. That's again a very nice thing. It's actually quite a useful feature. More car companies should offer the same. The wipers work well. Plenty of spray on offer. Plenty of spray on offer. Let's use the rear wiper as well. And there you can see, good amount of spray at the rear as well. Alright, let's do one thing. Let's play an audio right away. Audio quality as expected is fantastic. You obviously get navigation, maps, and a lot of features here as well. Now this is the air purifier. Let's turn it on. There you can see it makes a lot of noise, but yes, it is useful in these COVID times for sure, without a doubt. Anyways, there's something on a sound mode lamp, and there are plenty of options here for the same as well. What it does is when a sound is playing now, it blinks the lights through the ambient lighting, which happens to be on the door pads. Looks fantastic, gives a nice ambience to the car at night specifically. And of course, this is a very loaded system, very easy to use, very slick indeed, and very nice too. Meanwhile, this display also shows you the reverse parking sensors when you get into reverse, which again is a nice touch. Yeah, there you can see it. And when you turn off the car, it will also show you which door is exactly open. Even if the sunroof is open, it will show you that too. And when you turn on the car, it also shows you a nice display which shows you the Kia logo. But how is this turbo petrol manual clutchless? Let's get driving right away. All right, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning of the car, getting into first gear, putting the handbrake down, turning on the driver rear view monitor, ventilated seats are also off, hazard lights off, revving the motor. Actually it doesn't rev when we are already off, there's no traction control. First gear, 51 kilometers per hour, redlining at 6,500 RPM. Second gear, it does not cross the ton in second. It actually goes to 91, 92, 93. It just wavers around that in second gear. In third gear, it is obnoxious. It goes all the way. We will talk about that later because there's a trick I need to show you. However, you can see the performance is very nice. This engine is super smooth, super refined. Okay, let me admit, it is not as smooth and refined as Volkswagen's 3-cylinder engine. This is obviously a 3-cylinder engine. It's a 1-liter turbo petrol engine known as the TGDI because turbocharged gasoline direct injection is what it is, and it performs flawlessly well. Okay, there is a hint of lag lower down, which by the way, the DSG gearbox or the DCT gearbox masks much better than the clutchless manual which we are driving today. And there is no manual as such in the Kia Sonet Turbo. You can either get a DCT, which is an automatic, a full automatic, or a half automatic like the one I am driving right now, which is a clutchless manual wherein there is no clutch here. You can just shift gears without even lifting off the throttle. You can just shift gears as and when you like it. So performance is very nice, very sweet, but you can't do aggressive launches because you can't, dump the clutch, you can't half rev or slip the clutch. That's the reason this is actually slower when compared to the DCT model, compared to the automatic, by 1.6 seconds, taking 13 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Yeah, 13 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. The DCT actually takes 11.4 seconds. That's a massive difference, all due to the fact that you can't really shift gears fast enough here. You have to actually shift it smoothly and slowly. Although the gearbox is very smooth shifting, the gates are very well defined as well. This engine produces 118 bhp of power. Meanwhile, the torque output happens to be 172 Newton meters, which comes in at a low 1500 RPM and stays there till 4000 RPM, which means it's a very wide mid-range, very wide torque band as well. And that's the reason why the mid-range performance is fantastic in this car. Yeah, truly fantastic mid-range performance. But what is the issue? The issue is that, in the top end, it becomes very vocal, although in a sporty way. And because the 3-cylinder engine, you can feel the 3-cylinderness at certain speeds, wherein there are some vibes which can be felt. You can feel the vibrations, although, it's mainly when you're idling the car or when you get into the top end of the rev range. Now, this is obviously a 6-speed box. Braking performance is good, yeah, but it could have been slightly better. I expected more, like, inspiring stopping power. That's not the case here. Now, I'm going to show you another party trick. Okay, first and foremost, we need to go over these speed rumblers really slowly because they are obnoxiously made. Yeah, they are like massive humps, seem like mountains to me. Now, you know what? Just look at me drive, okay? We are in first, I'm already in second. In fact, you can go from second itself. Now, I'm in third gear, around 18 kilometers per hour. I'm in third gear. I have whacked open the throttle completely, okay? Getting past the turbo lag, getting into the mid-range where there's punch. Now it started to pull. Okay, the pull is nice. Very good. Okay, it will keep pulling. Now you won't believe it, from around 16 to 17 kilometers per hour all the way, this car is already doing 120 right now. This car will go from 16 to 17, around 17 kilometers per hour, till 145 kilometers per hour in one freaking gear. That's right, in just one gear. It has such a wide speed spread. It's insane. How is that even possible? Well, I'll tell you why it's possible. It's because the gearing is obnoxiously tall. Actually, the gearing is short in the automatic, wherein it takes a shift to 4 to reach 100 kilometers per hour. Here, obviously, it reaches 100 kilometers per hour in third itself. But you can see, you can drive this car like an automatic by putting it in second or third. You don't need to shift into any gear. I'll tell you what, you can just drive the car in second gear. Let's assume that we are driving in the city. Okay, I have come to a complete halt here. Okay, complete halt right now. Now I'm in second gear. From second gear, I started to drive. It picks up very smoothly in second gear, little bit of wheel spin also, and I've whacked open the throttle. Now in second gear, it's going to go from 0 kilometers per hour all the way till around 93, 92 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that's one gear. That's the level of tallness of the gear ratios of this car, absolutely crazy, isn't it? Now the fuel economy is somewhere between 11 to 15 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style, but I like the fact that the gearing is so tall that even when you actually forget that you are driving a clutchless manual and forget to shift, if you're in either of this gear, like second or third, it still manages it for you. In fact, we're going to get into 6th gear. Right now I'm in 6th gear. Engine becomes very calm, very smooth. We are driving around say slightly above 2000 rpm. Open the throttle. Obviously, once you're in the mid-range, that is the meek of the power band, it really pulls nicely and strongly, very calmly as well. But here's another thing. In 6th gear, I'm going to apply brakes. I'm going to stop the car. Okay, when I'm stopping the car in 6th gear, I'm in the wrong gear. I can't pick it up from this gear. The car will obviously not stall. It will not stall because the clutch is already actuated below, but it will give me a warning. Please shift down, please shift down, please shift down. Okay, here we are. I've got into neutral. Here we are into 1st gear. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. It rests to 2000 rpm and little bit of wheel spin. Off we go. I am not lifting my right foot off the accelerator pedal and I'm just shifting the gears as and when I like it. That's the beauty of this clutchless manual, because it has a clutch inside, so it does the job for you. Now high-speed stability is actually quite nice because the suspension is on the stiffer side. So the suspension is on the firmer side for sure. A stiff suspension is actually a good thing for handling, but the problem here is there's a paradox. The steering wheel does not have feel or feedback. So this is a car which has a stiff suspension, which means that it's not comfortable, but a light steering which doesn't offer feel or feedback, which means that it's neither a driver's car, neither a comfortable car. So what is it? Well, that's something which I'm not able to understand, why car makers are tuning the suspension on the stiffer side when they're not offering steering feel. Although the good bit about the fact that the steering is on the lighter side is that it's easy to twirl. Although it weighs up at higher speeds, it doesn't inspire you to push it hard or fast. So yeah, you know what? It's not scary at all. It's not hairy at all. And that's also because the suspension is on the stiffer side, which means that body roll is very well contained in this car. And that's not all. Around the corners, body movement is well under control. It doesn't feel hairy. It has a lot of grip as well, but just doesn't feel exciting enough to drive. Although this engine is fantastic, the less I say about the engine, the better it is, because if I talk about the engine alone, you'll be sold on this car. That is how good this engine is. And Hyundai and Kia are absolutely nailing it when it comes to their turbo petrol engines. They're offering so many turbo engines now, and these engines are very nice because they offer you the punch and the grunt and the mid-range performance, along with a plethora of gearbox options as well. Now driving in the city is where this clutchless manual comes into play, because right now I'm in 2nd gear. I don't care. I don't have to shift any gear whatsoever. I can keep driving in 2nd gear, no hassle whatsoever, because drivability is actually quite nice. Although there is lag lower down, drivability is actually quite brilliant in this car. Yeah, I do expect the steering wheel to have offered more feel and feedback, considering the suspension is just too stiff. And the problem with the suspension is that it affects the ride quality badly, massively. You know how? Because first and foremost, anything which is bigger than a small pothole, I mean a slightly bigger pothole, you can feel it inside the car. If there's a big pothole, well, it absolutely ruffles the car. The horn is actually nice. I like it. Okay, it has got 2 horns, that is. Now, it ruffles the car completely. Over bad roads, you cannot drive this car fast at all. It is just very uncomfortable. It cannot take bad roads in its stride because of the stiff suspension. So, very uncomfortable a car over bad roads. But you don't really get the benefits of it around the corners because the steering just does not give you the level of confidence to push it hard and fast. So still, the Ford EcoSport is the king of the segment, and the Tata Nexon is also brilliant in this regard. Although, you know what Kia's try to do? They always try to make their cars more sporty because they look sportier when compared to their Hyundai counterparts. And of course, the counterpart of the Sonet happens to be the Venue. In comparison, yeah, the Sonet definitely feels slightly better to drive, but the ride quality really puts you off because most of our roads are bad roads only. There is no good road concept here. I am still in 2nd gear. I'm going to take a U-turn. You can see the steering wheel is so easy to twirl. You can do it with one finger. That is the ease. And now, you know what? I'm tempted to put in first, but no. It takes it in 2nd with ease, without a doubt. Onto the throttle. Here, get into the mid-range. Starts to pull nicely. Mid-range punch is nice. And then just the dual horn I want to hear because it sounds really very nice. Now I'm going to start from 2nd. We are on a slope. It rolls back slightly and then starts cruising ahead. Okay, it's doing 4 kilometers per hour. It will gather some pace on its own, which means that even without applying the accelerator pedal, it has this crawl mode, which is able to crawl at around 15 kilometers per hour, which is quite impressive. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into 3rd gear. It won't take 3rd at 15 kilometers per hour. It will take 3rd at around 18 kilometers per hour. It has come into 3rd gear. Now I've whacked open the throttle completely, building up pace slightly, slowly, and then all of a sudden turbocharger kicks in, your punches it hard and fast, and it pulls really nicely. And then it just goes all the way till 145 kilometers per hour from 18 kilometers per hour in one gear. Absolute madness. This is next level of tall gearing, done in the interest of fuel economy, of course, and easy drivability too, because if someone forgets to change gears from third, well, no problem, the car will handle it for you. Now there are obnoxious 23 variants on offer. Yeah, 23 variants on offer. It's so confusing. I spent 15 days just to understand what are the variants and why they have so many variants on offer. Now the variant which we are driving right now is priced at rupees 13.57 lakhs. Now this is the Tech Line. Okay, the same powertrain also comes in the GT line, which costs around 50,000 more, 14.08 lakhs. Again, all the prices are on road Mumbai. The range of the Sonet starts at rupees 7.89 lakhs, goes all the way till 15.69 lakhs, and compared to the top of the line variant of this powertrain, which is the iMT Turbo in the GT line, it is around rupees 1.08 lakhs less when compared to the same trim in the DCT. I know you guys are confused AF. That's why I'll just tell you one thing. Okay, the car is pricey for the higher variants. Okay, for a compact SUV which is sub 4 meters, it does cost quite a lot of money for sure. Yeah, that said, I would have loved it if the brakes were even better in terms of, you know, show footage stopping power. Although grip levels are there, the pedal just doesn't give you the positive feel which you're expecting. Now into first gear and off we go. Come on. So as you see it, this clutchless manual brings in the convenience and also the involvement, because you have to shift gears yourself. However, it slows down things. Nothing, trust me on this, nothing beats a traditional manual gearbox with a clutch and of course a gear lever to operate. But guys, still the experience is quite fun because this engine is fantastic. Of course, a clutchless manual brings in the convenience without, you know, taking all the control away from you, which happens in a DCT or in any automatic gearbox for that matter. But what is the real USP here is the fact that you only pay around 20,000 more when compared to a traditional manual gearbox for removing the clutch, which seems like a big win-win situation, because at the end of the day, the reason you would buy a clutchless manual over an automatic is the pricing and probably better fuel economy as well, because this is much more attractively priced when compared to a full-fledged automatic. So yeah, that is one of the USPs of a clutchless manual. I don't think anyone really cares about being involved in shifting gears, because beyond the point you forget to shift gears completely. Why? Because you think it's an automatic and you're like, oh no, I have to shift gears. That lack of a clutch means that you can't slip it, you can't launch aggressively. So that fun factor is gone out of the window. It's just about being a control freak. So guys, this is my vlog of the Kia Sonet Turbo Petrol iMT. This happens to be the Tech Line. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye, take care, see you.